What's happening, everybody? It is just me right now. Jody's thinking about jumping in here if he can get a good connection. Let me make sure we're live. And we are. So, you guys in the chat, Billy Berg, what's happening? If you want to come on here, Billy, and talk about your event, here, I'll throw you a link. If I can find you on here, that is. If not, that's okay too. Let's talk about it, guys. What do you guys want to hit in the chat? We had the East versus West qualifier last weekend. I managed to win the overall, but Steve Gaber, man, he felt strong. Strong in the hand, strong in the arm. And as we know, I might have been just a little bit compromised going in. However, Steve did his best to equalize that, I think, by going out the night before. And then we had, well, let's start from the start. We had some guys come up from Minnesota. We had Josh Hanlon and a small crew coming up from there. I know I'm live, Billy. And I sent you a link in your Facebook Messenger, Billy. We had some guys come up from Minnesota that mixed things up a little bit. We had some Saskatchewan guys come out that mixed it up a little bit. Phil, how are you doing? GB, as we all know, Jody is overseas. I'm not sure what kind of a connection he's got right now. He is contemplating coming on if he can. But at this point, it looks like it might just be me for a short one today, guys, just to get one in. And then we had Nick Penner take out Josh Hanlon. I believe Josh came back, beat him with the left arm. We had myself taking both super heavyweight right and left. And the overalls were very interesting. All the class winners on the right arm got together and did kind of a different version of a round robin. It looked almost more like a straight line bracket with a double knockout scenario. Now we ended up Nick Penner. So one of the highlights of my day was when the overall happened. We got Nick Penner going up against Vincent Squires. Now Vincent was actually, you think Jody's on the way to the airport? Okay. Vincent was very, very confident that he was going to do well in that overall when he saw me get into a war with Steve Gaber. And I think he took his eye off of what was in front of him. And Nick Penner blasted through Vincent Squires and met up with me along the way. And I was able to beat him. And then Kevin Martins was the guy that ended up in the overall final, and I took that one. Now, I don't know what the rules are about what Jody can and cannot talk about. If you guys have seen some of those ARMWARS matches, let me know, and we will talk about it, because I watched the Austin Jaggers. There he is, Austin Jaggers. And Mendogas match. Austin, are we allowed to talk about that? Because I watched that match, and I watched the Jody match. And Mendogas playing with... Okay, so we're obviously... All right, Neil. I'm sending you a link. There you have it, my man. I'm lonely. Come on in. Because I want to know what you're going to let me talk about on here, and you can lead that. Over the top, how are you doing? Austin Jaggers, it was a grinder. Yeah, I know. I noticed that. The craziest thing was that, like, match number 1, how you managed to get a hit that brought him all the way over to the pin was pretty fantastic. No spoilers. Okay, we can't have spoilers. Ay. How do we talk about the matches? Well, we kind of had one already. We had N. Will already talk about, if you can read between the lines on what he said there, I guess that's a spoiler. But we watched it. We watched the matches. Here, let's try it this way, guys. There it is, Austin. Click on that. We're about to have some guests, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to have some guests. What else do you guys want to do to fill the time in between? I think 117 entries. Is that right, Billy Berg? $117 entries at the East versus West qualifier for a tournament in Manitoba. That is pretty good. And then $500 to, you see the trophies behind me right over there. We have Austin. Austin and Neil, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. What's up, buddy?
Yes, we can.
Neil, what can we talk about? I watched the match.
So first of all, what did you think? What do you think? I mean, you can. They've gone out to the members, so we're, we can talk about the matches. We're not going to go into it detail. What I would say is, firstly, before we go any further, anybody that did buy the membership, it was open to all our channel members. So even the sort of £5 membership right through, and for that you obviously don't just get the matches, you get everything for through that month, and we're going to be uploading a ton of content. But I wanted to hear from you, Ryan, because just as a promoter, did you watch it, mate?
Of course I did.
What did you think, brother?
I thought it was probably the best production I have seen for a live event, maybe ever.
Fantastic.
Like the way that in real time, that was in real time, correct?
No, it was a few hours after the show. So we
even
did
a few hours.
Probably. Oh yeah, we did the show probably 12 hours, 8 hours before.
Okay, so I mean that was the camera angle switches, the way it was put together.
It's edited. Phenomenal. I mean, as soon as we got done with it, we started editing immediately.
Literally,
James was on it
immediately. As Austin was saying there, people don't realize, the what we look to do is to try to get the very best experience for the fans, for you guys. So basically, we have a situation where anybody that tunes into that, we don't want you to experience buffering issues. We don't want you to experience any issues at all. We want you to come in and get the very best, smoothest, most well-produced experience you can get. So when we talk about the suspended live, the as live, that's what it is. So you're getting. No, I know I put it up with the dark card, but that's what you saw yesterday was the intended look for dark card. But yeah, these guys pulled sort of 8 hours earlier. As soon as the show finished, James Statham was immediately editing that thing together, and he stayed up. This is not well.
He didn't even sleep. He stayed up pretty much all night.
That's what James does.
Did not go to bed, Ryan, at all.
Well,
pulled an all-nighter. So he began cutting the matches together. Literally didn't go to bed.
He didn't go to bed, and literally was up. I mean, when I woke up the next morning, I slept in. He was still working on it.
Yeah, I was surprised.
So as soon as that could be up, literally immediately it could be up. It was like right there. So a couple of hours earlier, we had it up, and we knew it was up, and it was like, okay, it's ready to stream. We then put it to stream. The idea was to try and give people a degree of continuity, is probably the word I'm looking for, was to put it out the same time as the fix would normally go. So it was like 9:30 UK or GMT, 4:30 Eastern. It was
It was 4:30, I believe.
Like 4:30 and 1:30 respectively. So
now, when did you do
that appeals to a big audience?
There was the arm wrestlers. There was the Team Strongman event. When was that recorded?
When was the matches recorded?
Yeah.
literally right before it. So Austin's here now. There he is.
Yeah, I'm saying, like,
Yeah, but there was the one. Yeah, I mean, that was fantastic. There was a lot of content, and you don't want to talk about the results because you still want people obviously to go watch them, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And I think that with all the debate that's been going on lately about people talking about things before people get a chance to see it, maybe there is some something to that. But I mean, from what I saw, I mean, that was phenomenal. I woke up this morning and I watched it this morning, and it was the first match up was Jody.
Yes. Yeah.
And you couldn't have asked for a much better match without talking about the result, but the match itself, man, that was fantastic.
And his match, holy!
Oh my God!
that was a war, man.
I
You
thought
can't
it
ask
was,
for better.
that was incredible. I mean, some of the people in the chat have watched it. Some of the people will want to watch it after we're done talking about it because doesn't get much better than that.
No, it was a hell of a match. It was amazing. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I want to throw in a shout out to Neil and all the guys that work really hard here. But not only do they try to make it the best experience for the person that's watching it, they try to make it an awesome experience for the arm wrestler as well, too.
Right.
It's for both. It's for both ends. It's for treating your arm wrestler like an actual athlete, like we were, like how we would imagine it, how we want it to be. And then you also get a complete, perfect, edited, smooth version of something that happened just hours before it, so it's like the best of both worlds.
Well, the biggest complaint that we ever get from the previous events that are like live in real time is that, the feed drops off.
Yep.
So you don't have to experience that when it's done this way.
What we do is that we premiere the thing.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I was trying to do with Dark Card was to premiere it. Well, what people saw on the other side of the public show that we did as the precursory warm-up, that's what we were going for. And the chat was going wild. It was going nuts. What we didn't know, and I say what I didn't know and what I took, because James didn't have anything. He did a brilliant job, mega job. What I screwed up was that I wasn't technically proficient enough to execute that how I wanted it. And despite our best efforts, it went south on us right at the end. But I feel like yesterday's show was what we wanted to achieve. It wasn't as highly edited as the Dark Card, obviously, because we did it right on the hoof. The Dark Card was going to be the sort of crown jewels of that. And when we showed for the members the Devon Sandris left arm, that was the quality we were going for. That was, which in my honest opinion, is the best arm wrestling production I've ever seen in my 30 years in the sport. And I genuinely believe that. I've never seen anything of that quality that we put out with the left arm Devon Sandris match.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday's raw. It's not edited like that. It's not a film. It's not shown in that manner. It was very much a uncut raw with elements like the replays and all of those stuff that you saw just roughly thrown in. But we iron out the creases, as you say, make sure that it's smooth viewership. So you guys, when you do pay your $5, your $6, whatever you sign up for, you get a really smooth viewing experience, no buffering, no aggravation. If you want to catch the thing as live and chat with the guys as they watch it for the first time, we've given that option there. The other thing is that another major issue is that there's time zones around the world. And when I was a kid, I used to get up and watch that. We've been talking about boxing and fights and stuff like that. We're both big fight fans. One of the big issues there is, something's on at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You want to watch it live. All the UFCs are got to stay up till 3, 4 a.m. Sometimes it's just not conducive to real life. You know what I mean? So what we're trying to do with the 9:30 thing is to hit as many time zones as we can at that time. You know what I mean? So,
makes sense.
So the North American audience can get there, the Canadian audience, the European audience. It's a pretty balanced. Sorry, my brain. I'm knackered, mate.
It's balanced. It's balanced throughout the whole entire. The majority of people, they're going to watch it. It's released at 9:30. It's on at 4:30 in Kentucky. It's on at 1:30 in California. So it's all realistic times for everybody to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and you have the advantage of being able to go back and watch it at your convenience too.
Yeah, and as many times as you want,
Yeah.
I know when Ryan Bowen said it, well, you know, if you don't see it live, it isn't worth anything. I couldn't even bring myself to go back and watch it. But I do disagree with that. I refute that enormously. I think there's, particularly when you're watching the sport, if you're a real fan and you want to do, I research stuff. So I want to look back at matches, and I want to look back at, you can learn from it, you can be educated by it and stuff. You can learn your opponents, and it's there as a reference point. So you can go back and watch that as many times as you want, watch those matches as many times as you want, you know, at your convenience. You don't have to catch it live. You can go back. Whatever you want to do.
Ryan, who you pulling next? Who you got?
I don't know. I don't know. I just pulled the East versus West qualifier yesterday.
How'd you do?
What was it? 2 days ago. I won both arms and the overall.
Nice.
So we'll see where we go from here. I don't know. Maybe it'll be over there. I don't know. You know, what do you think?
That'd be fun.
Mendogas keeps calling me out.
Listen, you know I want that match. you know I want that match, and you know there's we talked about a 4-way just the other day, and it, you know, there's options.
Could have Ryan.
I really like that.
Never know.
Yeah.
You know, I spoke other day on the fix about the whole, you know, 4-way thing with Mask, Derek, this man. Where is he? Where's Mendigas? Dolskus is like here somewhere.
He hears my voice and he goes, here's my voice and he runs and hides.
But yeah, it's there's so much potential in that. Just below that biblical elite level, there's a lot of unbelievably talented, unbelievably strong arm wrestlers, and in my opinion, some of the best matches in the world will come out of that bracket. You know what I mean? I think people disrespect the fact and disregard the fact that within that layer there are guys who are, you know, multiple national, European, world, continental champions. These are very, very good arm wrestlers, very experienced arm wrestlers who've been in the game for forever and have really put the time, the effort, the work in there. And I think there's some great, and we've just seen one. I mean, my God.
This whole house is filled with talent. It's unreal.
Yeah, that was good. And how, I mean, I got to ask, how much of it is luck when you're making a match against guys that have never had a look at each other?
He's good at it.
Yeah,
his calculations are pretty close. It seems like.
I suppose the evidence is there to be judged, isn't it? We did 5 matches the other night. You watched them all. It was harder because within that mix, there's guys like Jody, for example, who I've never really had a chance to. I've never pulled him, so I ain't got a beat on him. So what I do is I study the arm wrestler. I watch where their strengths and weaknesses are, where they're technically proficient, where they're not. And I try to put a guy in the way who can balance out some of that and who should be in a similar level of strength.
You're like an arm wrestling computer processor.
little bit like trying to work that logical angle in there with just the information we've got. I mean, myself and Austin went out for something to eat the day before. And we were saying, you know, he was saying, oh, how do you feel about the match? And my sort of take on that was that that was my nailed on match, if I'm honest.
Nobody knew who was going to win, who was going to lose. Like, you could ask every athlete in the house, and they were literally, I don't know, it's so close. And it was. It was amazing. So, you know, I don't think it could have been more spot on for people that, you know, if you're looking at the talent levels of everything, the strength levels and all that, we were just about freaking even. So,
I mean, you could have run that match on Tuesday, you run it on Thursday, you run it on Sunday, and there's 3 potentially different results there. You know what I mean? I really. Hey, now then, Mendigas.
There he is.
Now this is hey, you know. He didn't drop the pizzas now. We're not talking about the result.
Ryan.
We're not talking about. We're not talking results here.
Had a battle.
Hey,
Oh my goodness!
it was a bloody war.
It
was a bloody war.
I watched it. It was good.
Now the other thing is, we think you got anything for this Canadian kid?
I told him before I won a match.
With both arms?
Do you remember when
Calling you out, son.
I am
I remember you saying my name.
Yes.
And then I was, you know, you guys get interviewed after yesterday, and I was waiting for somebody to say something, and nobody said anything.
Ken's very
He's
respectful.
because he's
I
such a
told
nice
you before,
gentleman.
you know, but there's no answer, you know. But yeah, man, that would be a good match. I think that would be a good
It
match.
would be.
It's I like that battleground thing. I'm gonna say. I think
So
the
who would you
battleground.
put in? Who would be the 4 people in the battleground?
I think there's options there, but I kind of like yourself, Austin, Mindigus, Derek Smith, or Mask. You know, and you could they're transferable.
Bloody hell!
Yeah,
It'd be nasty.
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean,
Talk about
we've seen how
now.
close this one was. I mean, when you get into, you know,
But
it's career-ending
But-
death war central.
but that happened in the same day.
Mhm.
You cannot do like transit to the next.
Can you imagine the match you watch these lads have, and then you've got another one in a minute?
Yeah, no, I can't. Well, I can't imagine it because I've done it. I've done it.
Stupid. Absolutely.
No
I mean,
fun,
you were Ryan was in the gathering on the Vegas roof.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen that video.
Oh,
plenty of
you know,
times. They had
it's-
yellow shirts on, didn't they?
It's but it's an exciting possibility, mate. It's an exciting prospect, you know. And
Yeah,
we the guy when we had the guys lined up for, are you leaving, Sam? Hey, just look at this kid, Sam. Just pop your head in here. So this is Sam Burnett from
Hey,
Australia,
how's it
guys.
going?
Hello, FC. Nice,
Dude, it's a
nice to meet
beast.
you.
Can't
Nice to
tell
meet
them any
you.
of your results, mate. But have you had a good? What's your ARMWARS experience? You enjoy it?
Yeah, I had heaps of fun. ARMWARS was amazing. Like, I'm tended today. I'm feeling it, but love the whole experience. It was a lot of fun. So
Fantastic.
thank you,
stuff.
Neil. Appreciate that.
So he's got a journey that's probably going to be about 2 days shorter than the one you had, Ryan. He's only going to
Wow.
Australia.
Yeah, only to Australia. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff. Thanks, mate.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you very
off.
much. Take
Thank
it
you.
easy, brother.
Thank you, Neil. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Cheers.
Send me a message. Let me know when you're home safe. I will.
Thank you. We're
Take
going
it easy. You off, Frodo? Take it easy, mate. Oh, could have done it. Thanks, Dan. I don't know who that Norwegian is.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
ARMWARS superstar.
He's been around a while.
Oh, only just and went to war again. You know this week. But hey, I'll tell you who else you might want to see if he's knocking about the place. Oh, hey, Dracula. You might have some
Dracula's
questions
here.
for this guy.
I'll go and have my pizza. I'll see you a bit later. Right,
Yeah, you go eat some pizza.
Like
Dracula,
he needs it.
come here.
Oh.
Oh my God. Here we go.
So we're not going to talk about the actual results, mate. Me and Austin were just saying to Ryan here,
They're all wars, man. That's
Oh.
what I'm saying.
Each single one of them.
quite a match with Jody. This guy had for anyone in the chat there.
Yeah, you know what?
Left
And you don't know. I mean, when you watch that match, everyone in the chat, like it's, you know, through the first 4 matches, you're not even going to have a clue on who's winning that thing. It's good. It's good.
So many close matchups. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Incredible.
There were some battles, and George will be probably out here real soon as well. I would imagine he's in the dark box right now, so he's in there sat with James
Who's in there?
doing his thing. Jody,
Jody's in there. Okay.
he's in there. He's in front of the camera right now. This guy. Have you been, or are you next?
No, I'm next after Jody.
So yeah,
Carl
Adrian's
Stanley's
next
asking-
up.
Carl's asking where they can see the matches. So go over to is it on your
Yeah, you go to the
ARMWARS?
ARMWARS YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Usually from a PC is easiest. It can be done from a phone, but you've got to have it on desktop setup.
Yeah.
It's available to all ARMWARS channel members, and not just that. That's one snippet for anybody who's a channel member. One of the big differences with what we do is your £5 is for a lot more content and more coming. We're also going to be doing giveaways for all our channel members. So one of the people that we're involved with is a company called ARMSport. Get over to www.wristball.net, mother, because if you want the best handles in the world, and for all our channel members, we're going to be doing a monthly giveaway. So we're going to pick a geezer or a geezer Ella, and we're going to give them away some handles. We'll pick one of our members a month worth a couple of £100 and You too can become as strong as Dracula, and all that.
Bigger biceps,
Yes.
Oh,
just like Dracula.
and let me just say, you saw what happened with Jody and this guy on the match that they had.
Yes.
All I can tell you is the next day of competition, you saw the first sort of 6 hours, whatever it was.
Yeah.
The next day, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The other arms.
Mate. Unbelievable shit.
When is that getting released?
They will be coming out on a weekly basis every Friday. Most of those are going to be preview. So we just do Friday nights at the same time as the fix, so like 9:30. But there will be some stuff that's going to be exclusive to channel members as well. We're not going to show every match to preview. We're going to be showing them. We just got to. It's a business. Ultimately, we got to pay for this friggin' house. I mean, the house is stupid. Where they're
Two
all
houses.
based.
Yes. You had 2 houses booked.
Yeah.
Two houses. Yeah. So this was where the matches took place. It was this one, which is colossal. I mean, guys can chill out, and we got all like your sort of games room area over there and stuff. I mean, you can have a little bit of a look around here. You know, we got Austin Jaggers filling his face with pizza. That's not a normal. But
It's easier if you just take 2 pieces and stack them together. Then it's like a pizza sandwich.
now, that's made me really hungry, son. Oh, you bastard! You absolute bastard! Brought that over. And then outside it, you can go in the hot tub, chilling.
Man, this place is amazing. Look above. There's like a whole balcony. Walk out your room.
Well.
Yeah, and say, hey, so
Yeah.
yeah. No, no. To be fair, we gotta keep it rolling. So we're gonna put some stuff out to channel members as well. Bit of an arm off there. And some of I was just telling Ryan, some of the matches from the second day, shit,
Man.
dead. Jody
Okay.
Williams sore. Man is sore.
I don't see how
I bet.
I don't see how
Everybody's started.
Yeah.
Pulled many more than one match, Ryan. You know how we roll. Oh,
Yep.
we kept him busy. Let me tell you. But
I can't wait to see what happens.
he can't hold his own dick.
I can't even do it. It's aggravating.
But yeah, it was unbelievable couple of days. It was. And yeah, Jody had a bit of a travel experience like your own, Ryan. It kept us waiting.
Yeah.
But it all paid off.
Well,
Austin got his beard trimmed.
oh, yeah. Beautiful. Yeah,
Got a
not
haircut. Yeah. Went and got himself all pretty for the match. Yeah.
Of
I
course.
heard about it.
Yeah. gotta look the part, haven't you?
So
There
what
you
is
go.
next?
Beauty
What
shot.
is the next card you're working on, Neil?
Dark Card 2. So we got Dark Card 2 coming. That will be in May. So we're gonna be showing stuff up to May. Early May, right at the start of May, we're doing the Dark Card, just to let people know. And so there is no concern. I did this on a couple of other channels before, but it didn't work too great for me. But it is not actually live.
Not live. You heard
It's
it here.
not live. I'm gonna get T-shirt printed and just gonna say
Not live.
not fucking live.
That's
Or
a
I'll
good
just
idea.
announce it. We are not live, but it will be as live. It will be done in the same format, streaming for our members. The headline there is Devon Larratt, and there's a stacked 5 or 6 match card beneath that, and shall be entertaining.
So Devon Larratt is the headliner, but Devon Larratt is also the headliner coming up at East versus West, correct?
It is not live.
Also, yes. Okay. Yes.
Oh,
Who's can you say the opponent?
No, we're gonna. The idea with the dark card is that we're gonna try and make that interactive for the fans to allow them to sort of guess on it and discuss it, talk about who he's going to be pulling. The guy he's pulling is a very, very, very decorated international puller with massive experience. He's pulled the biggest names in the game. He's a beast. You may, forgot about Dre, but powerful, scary, strong. and should be very, very interesting. You never know. Maybe this guy's going to be hovering around. Who knows what could happen? We've got some other matches that the matches haven't taken place yet, incidentally. So,
Yeah.
But by the time you see them, they will have.
You didn't know I've already pulled all these guys.
Holy gosh. You even here? But yeah, it's gonna be a bloody exciting card. We got a stacked little card under that. I mean, some of the matches below it are rock solid. We're going to make it interactive for the guys. Like I say, we want to do giveaways and make some prizes, prize potential for some of the members as well. So if you guys can take guesses at that, we'll drop clues and hints and stuff. And maybe the first guy that comes up with the correct answers as we unveil the card will win themselves some merch and some signed stuff from Devon or other pullers and that kind of thing. And sets of handles, arm sport handles and stuff like that. So yeah, just trying to make it fun for people, trying to keep that vibrancy going and make sure that when we do put the product out, it's really good quality. Mm-hmm.
We have a question in the chat. Is
Try my
Devon
best.
both arms? Is Devon pulling both arms?
Couldn't possibly comment. The honest answer to that right now is we don't know. We don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
As you can probably imagine from what I've already said, there is a concern around the right arm because when you're pulling someone like Gennady Quickvinia anywhere close, 3 weeks earlier or whatever,
Yeah.
there is a risk attached to that. Devon, in Devon's head,
No,
he's like,
realistically,
I'm okay. I can pull tomorrow, but in my mind, as a promoter, I am concerned about that.
I do not recall a time that Devon has ever pulled out because of an injury.
no kidding.
Nope. No, if the guy can put, and also he says, "Don't worry about me." I'm like he's quite happy, quite dismissive of the fact that he's going to be fine. He says, "Yeah, trust me. It's not a problem. I'm good."
Devon pulls a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's conditioning. It's like he does recover quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, when I pulled the Breslin match a while back, I pulled Devon.
I love how he says Devon.
Devon. It's D-E-V-O-N. Devon. Everybody's like, it's Devon. I'm like, is it D-E-V-A-N or is it O-N? I don't know. But Devon pulled so much the day before out in like a shed. We had a shed on some land that we were at in Kentucky. And we were pulling. He was pulling everybody that wasn't really pulling in the tournament. Then the next day enters the tournament, beats everybody. Later on that night, after pulling with everybody, didn't even think about it. And that was not very long before after he pulled Sanders.
Yeah. I pulled with him a bit when he was here.
Devon's recovery time is like non-existent. It's just there.
He's ridiculous at the moment as well. I've obviously been personal friends and pulled with Devon many, many times for 20 years. And the guy right now, wow, really strong. I mean,
yeah, I believe it. And that's why a super match, I think it's probably 5 times harder to beat Devon in a super match than it is in a tournament format.
Yeah, I agree. If he can put the brakes on guys at the moment, he's a big ask because of that endurance factor and because of the leverage and no limits, right? Awkward, incredible sphere of technical prowess. Not afraid to go through the gears, ABC. Always be climbing. Dude's not playing games, and he's hard to contain.
Wow.
So
there's the one weapon that people have that, and it always has been speed with Devon. And
correct.
As matches go on, it gets a little bit less every time they say go.
Yes, it does. So you got to put it. It's almost like you're praying for the boring match if you're not a Devon fan because you want the guy to put him away early. Any kind of the brakes go on, that kind of stuff is fine, but you kind of have to be a Devon fan because everybody wants to see a Turo Gatti and Ward, don't they? We all want to see Jaggers Dulskus. We want to see that holy shit moment where the guys are dying and gasping for air. That's what we do it for at the end of the day,
Yeah.
But what I can tell you is you're going to get anybody that is tuning into the stuff that we shot this weekend. You got no shortage of those coming.
You're on the edge of your seat every match, the whole match. It's insane.
I can't wait, man. Like as they come out, I'll be watching.
One question from us: what's the sort of? Did any of the guys in the chat see the short weekend?
Yes, some of them are commenting on some of the matches. They didn't give away results, but they almost did.
That's okay. I mean, listen, well, I can't. We can't stop people doing that. Honestly,
Yeah.
Thank you everybody who's not giving away results. Thanks very much, but on the behalf of other people as well that may want to go and check them out and just get the enjoyment of the matches. But it's going to get out. People are going to do that. Some people seem to have a vested interest in doing that, and so be it. Whatever floats your boat, you know. That's the reality of life. But I'm just interested to see what people think. I do read comments. I do try and take feedback. I will try and evolve the thing where I can, where it's viable to do so.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what real arm wrestlers, real arm wrestling fans, both of those bodies, groups of people, what they felt about the show, whether they liked it, whether they're happy with it, whether they thought the presentation was on point, and whether it was what they expected more than anything else.
Yeah. So this is not unlike, like, a lot of people are reacting like this is a new thing, but I mean, the World Arm Wrestling League did this. They recorded lots of footage that was released at a later date, and they tried to keep it, under their hat a little bit, unsuccessfully, because when you have 2,000 arm wrestlers in a room, it's pretty hard to keep a secret.
Yep.
However, it's not like it's new.
No. Well, look at the Ultimate Fighter right now, Ryan. You know, when Michael Bisping, obviously I'm a personal friend with Mike, and when Mike did the Ultimate Fighter, I saw him after myself in Vegas. I'm like, hey, Mike, how you doing? And I'm going up to him like, hey, how did you do? Did you win? What's the score? And he's like, I can't say. I did okay, mate. I did okay. Oh, he won. But he couldn't, it's months after. He's there. I can see he's out there training for a fight, but he wouldn't let on whether he won or not. But the Ultimate Fighter's already been filmed. He's getting ready for the coaches fight and the fight night. But the fact of the matter is that the UFC, which is a pretty big organization, that's what they did. We learning from those things. Obviously, you can see that fight sports have been a big influence on me, Ryan. You know that as well from our discussions as friends for years. And the original top 8 we did. It was the gatherings in ARMWARS, as you know, predating everything. And where did that concept come from? 8-man UFC tournament, the Grand Prix. That's where it came from. Simple as that. That was happening at the time. Those 8-man Grand Prix, I loved them. The Pride Grand Prix, I loved them. I'm sure other guys in the chat did too. And it's an exciting format, but it's difficult because we haven't got enormous resource. It's not like we've got a team of highly paid guys that we can just chuck money into. The reality of this scenario is for arm wrestling as a sport that it's very difficult to move the dial from a monetary perspective when you've got large cards that you're trying to finance, particularly if you're doing what we're trying to do here and make it a unique experience like an Ultimate Fighter thing. When we got you got a house you're throwing £10,000 at, and another one down the street, you're soon into some scary numbers.
Yeah,
and a lot of arm wrestlers unfortunately don't move the dial at this point in time from a pay-per-view perspective. My approach to this and what we're trying to do is to allow guys to, through the fans getting exposure to these guys continuously, so that they can develop their own brand. And then if they get to a situation where they do move the dial, how we operate with guys is either on a fixed fee when we do big name matches, or we do pay-per-view revenue split with the big dial movers, of whom there are very, very few. And sort of that the approach to that is it's beneficial in a number of ways for us. So let's say you're Devon Larratt and you say, well, if I do this thing, this is what I could probably bring in. And we'll say, okay, well, based on that, if you believe that and you push the match, and Devon will push matches. Here we go. Devon will push matches. Then it makes sense for us to work with that angle. The difficulty is for the new guys that are just making their name. I mean, we know Mindegos is a great arm wrestler. We know Austin's a great arm wrestler. But the reality of the situation is when you put these guys in a match, is it going to move the dial and you make a lot of money as a YouTube channel when I put a film out on these guys? No, it isn't. I mean, we can do simple maths on that now, can't we? Let's say, for example, we'd average maybe anywhere from 7 to our biggest view on the films around 40, 50,000 views on the films. With the lesser known guys. So just based on that, you've got a situation where you're earning what? On a good week, and let's say it's a good week, you're earning £7 per 1,000 views. If anybody's got their calculator with them there, put that in. Say it's an amazing match, which it was, and you generate 40,000 views and you get £7 every one of those 1,000 views. And I'm standing in a £10,000 house with another one down the street. And doesn't work out great for you, does it? But
No.
what it does do is it creates a situation where you try to gather momentum, you try to pay for each event as it comes along. And long term, you hope that there's some benefit that goes two ways. And what I mean by that is, let's say Austin Jaggers comes here, Minda Gustulskas come here, and they have a good time here, and they enjoy arm wrestling. And I allow them to own their brand, build their brand, take forward their brand, and develop their brand, and give them a platform that's a really, really high quality product. So they can approach sponsors, which they get the money from, not me. We put that on their equipment in that same high quality environment going forward. And they've got a platform that's at that level to show their wares. It raises the tide, which raises all ships. And hopefully then Austin Jaggers and Mindagus call me and say, hey, Neil, you know what? Let's do that again. That's worked. It's a concept that's on the table. That's what we're trying to do. So for anybody that isn't prepared to just listen to supposition and surmising, which is genuinely what's going on. I mean, I don't rise to that stuff that we got a lot of people talk a lot of nonsense, and they give it with such passion and confidence, like they really know what they're talking about, and they know nothing. I mean, it's funny. I read a comment, and I'm not gonna look. I don't want to get into the drama. But let's just say Pradeep Singh, and he says confidently, at no time have ARMWARS ever paid any athletes. Ryan, Espey, you know that's not true. I mean, you just know.
I do know that's not true. Yeah.
Well, there you go. So, and he literally wrote, why not? He said, literally, ask any of their athletes, ask any ARMWARS athlete. Well, you are one, and I'm asking you, Ryan Espey, is that true?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so that's it. Let's leave that there. But that is what I'm getting at is there are people within this sport, and the sport right now, there's a lot of venom and negativity in arm wrestling. And that's a great shame. And I am passionate about that because I have been in arm wrestling for close to 40 years, and it is what I do, and I do love it. And I know that other people who are under attack right now love it. And I'm sure there are people that think they're doing the right thing. But the reality of this situation is that if you are genuinely a lover of the sport of arm wrestling, always try to just keep that at the forefront of your mind and think about the positive and negative effect it may have on the sport you love. Yeah. Everybody's got an opinion and everybody's entitled to that. But always, I think it's important to keep that at the forefront of our minds.
There was an interesting topic that was brought up actually on Pradeep's show. Okay. It was the topic of arm wrestlers in matches failing to help promote the matches.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the role of the arm wrestler, the competitor in the match, actually taking steps with their own social media, their own platforms to try to build up those matches?
I think it's a wonderful socialist ideal. It's a great concept. It is conceptually great. In reality, as someone who really does do this and live this day to day, how effective is that? Even if Austin Jaggers and Minda Gustulskas walks out of this room today and thinks, you know what? Neil's a human biscuit. I love that dude. I mean, he thinks I'm a complete, but that regardless of that, if he walked out of here and didn't think I was a complete, and he thought I'm going to promote it, do I think that with the guy's very, very best efforts via his social media platforms that he could move the dial? No, I don't think he can do that. So a guy like Mindagus, who's a family man, who's got other commitments and things like that, whilst I love the concept and I would 100% agree that every little helps, and it's great to do that. It's in his interest. It's in my interests. It's not the solution. Devon Larratt gets the credit for doing that because he does it very well, but also Devon has a platform to achieve that. Most of these guys don't. What they need in actuality is, and maybe this is something that those guys who are so passionate and so enthusiastic about punching the living piss out of Engin and that he's doing the bad things and the scam wars, all that nonsense, yeah? So maybe one thing they could do is not bother with that. And they could continue to promote the thing, but align themselves with some of Engin's requests. And then maybe we're not beating the piss out of each other, and we start to talk and we start to advance our very small sport and try and turn it into something bigger. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, it's interesting because Michael Todd and I had the conversation about the live watch-along shows 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about it, and we never really tackled the issue because it seemed to have fallen off, and now all of a sudden it's back, and it's back in a big way. Yeah.
There's a lot of negativity around at the moment, and there's a lot of people that are clambering for drama and clambering for something to hold on to and to make views and to get them, you know, a number of people tuning in and checking out the show. But I would do it in a measured and a balanced and a considered manner, really, and always keep benefit or detriment of the sport we are apparently all pushing forward at the forefront of your mind. And when you've made those considerations, if you think that it is going to be detrimental to the sport, maybe it's worth holding back on that one, I think. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, seeing how I have you on here, Neil, I've got to ask you this question.
Try my best, man.
Do you have any intel on the World Arm Wrestling League and what they're up to? Because they are suddenly making social media posts again.
It's not my place to talk about that.
But you know something.
I am an enormous lifer fan of Steve Kaplan of World Arm Wrestling League. In my experience, Steve Kaplan has been one of the straightest, most dignified, principled men I've ever worked with. I've never had a cross word with the guy in my life. I've got the utmost respect for the man. And because of that, I'll leave it to him and his superior judgment to know when the right time is to approach people and go public with what his company's doing. I wish Steve and the UAWL all the very best. And I would hope that comes back and shows the world what a great arm wrestling promotion that is, helps us to elevate the whole thing. And wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be great? What an exciting time arm wrestling's in right now.
I agree.
I'm excited. And the fact that you didn't just say they're dead gives me hope.
Couldn't possibly comment, Ryan.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, it's been awesome, guys. I appreciate you guys jumping on here with me.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you
Ryan,
for having us.
I'll be honest with you, mate. People that don't know, and those people in the chat, you're one of the straightest guys in the game. You're a magnificent arm wrestler whose track record proves that beyond any reasonable doubt. You're also a very, very good bloke, and you deserve people to back you, and you deserve the notoriety, and I can't wish you any more luck, mate. It's as simple as that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much.
No worries, mate. Thank you for the invite and for giving us time to come on your show. Appreciate it.
See you soon, Ryan.
I'll see you soon.
Take it easy, mate. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. There you have it, you guys. That was fantastic. We had tuned in right to the Iron House itself. If you haven't seen the matches, go join Neil's channel. Go join the ARMWARS channel. Buy a membership. You'll get access to all of it. You won't be disappointed. The results have not been leaked yet. Just go watch it. It's as live. The production is amazing, and you guys are going to love it. So, awesome. James, thank you. Thank you. Espey versus Dulskus. It's coming. Let me tell you. I'm going to tune off for the day, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. And Jody will be back next week, and we will unpack this again. And if any of those matches are released publicly instead of just to members between now and then, we will break those down. We'll talk to everyone very soon.